Kurth with the Better Together Realty Group. We are powered by eXp, and we are your local experts. We are right here in Ellis County. Our office is in Midlothian, and we are here to serve you with all of your real estate needs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or maybe an empty nester or anywhere in between, we can help you with the purchase and the sale of any property. And we also help investors grow their portfolios as well as manage their properties for them. So we are truly full-service real estate right here in Ellis County. We would love to help serve you or anyone that you know reach their home goals. You can reach my whole team at 972-246-8297. You can call or text that number. You can always email us at team@bettertogetherrg.com, or you can stop by our office right here in Midlothian. Hi, my name is Caitlin Bush with Mid-America Mortgage Southwest here in Midlothian. Whether you are purchasing a home or refinancing, we are here to help you every step of the way. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or you've done the purchasing process multiple times before, we treat our customers like family here at Mid-America Mortgage Southwest, and we will walk you through every step of the way to make this transaction as smooth as possible. You can reach me at 214-598-7839 or send an email to kbush@mamsw.com.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I am extremely excited to have you here with us today for Keeping It Real with Kent. So I got my dear friend Brian Burds from El Paso to come in and have a little conversation with us about what does crypto mean and what does that mean to the real estate industry. Brian's one of my favorite guys. That he does more research than anybody I know. He understands what's going on, and So this is one of those things that we believe will be real. We're not really kind of scared.
I think this is one of those variables where I'm not really sure I know what the hell I'm talking about when we have the discussion about crypto and real estate, because so cryptocurrency terrifies me. 100% terrifies me.
Yeah.
I don't know where it ends up. I don't know how it ends up. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even know really. I've read the theoretical of what it is, but
Right.
I don't understand it. I feel like I've migrated into this older age. Like, it doesn't make sense. So
Right.
why is it real?
Yeah, well, the thing that bothers me is we go out there, and you got Tom Brady on TV talking about I'm going to get traded, and he got this trade, and they're talking about crypto, right? So if the mainstream media is going to put that in place, how do we look at that from a standpoint of can a title company accept it? What do we do?
Well, we
We
had this discussion a while back about the conversation of non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, and how that is tangibly becoming real estate.
Right.
You have Facebook recently migrating their entire platform into Meta,
right,
for this new metaverse, right? They are creating digital real estate that, for the first time, like, I grew up when SimCity was just a thing. Like, I grew up, that was a game that we played, and it was nothing more than a game in grade school. Like, when we had a free moment after finishing up work, we would ask the teacher to go play SimCity. But now that developed into The Sims, which then developed into this new virtual reality concept. And now you have Facebook, Google, and everybody else chasing this new, Apple doing the same thing, this alternate universe that can be designed on top of our own.
Right.
They've taken it one step further. Now they're saying, well, maybe we don't want to go this alternate reality or this additional reality inside of our own, but maybe we want to go back into a digital universe. And why is this concept go with cryptocurrencies? Because they're saying, well, let's not pay for it with real money.
Right.
Let's pay with it with cryptocurrency. And the thing that's scary about cryptocurrency is the massive movement of pricing points. And who knows where that ends up. And you're right, I think title companies are the one. I don't know that our industry is needing to be there yet. Title companies are the industry that is, I think, needing to be worried, because cryptocurrency and non-fungible tokens, or NFTs is where things are happening right now fast.
Right. So I was looking today at just researching a little bit, trying to figure this thing out. Right. So there's Bitcoin, there's helium, there's all these different pieces out there that really I don't completely understand, but I was looking at this particular one, helium, that was, a week ago was at $5, which I think that is real money. $5 is, there's a $5 bill. That's, and today it was at 37. I'm like, who does it? Stock doesn't do that. Real estate doesn't. How does that happen? And and what do you and I do with that? And how do we attach it to real estate if it's something that makes sense?
Yeah, and it's kind of like real estate. Why is real estate going crazy right now? Is because of the massive uptick in people being concerned in buying real estate. It's not that more houses are selling. It's just there's more people struggling to buy said houses. And what that tells me is that the cryptocurrency is moving at rapid pace, because on Facebook and on Google and a phone call that was made to you, they're saying this is the next one. This is the next one. Right. I seem to remember this was the next one when the .com bubble exploded dramatically. Right. Now, I'm not correlating that at all, but what I am saying is that very reminiscent of something, right? And that reminiscence, does it not need to be at least supervised in some way? And this is the problem that I have with cryptocurrency. And I am a full-blown, I like less government. I don't like more government, okay? I don't necessarily fall on one side of the aisle or the other side of the aisle. I feel like I fall right in the middle between things that I think are right and things that I think are wrong. And one of those things that I do concern myself, and this is where, like I said, I am worried about the lack thereof of supervision of currency. Right. I believe currency is one of those things that can go way out of hand really fast. We've seen this, all the way back to Nazi Germany, all the way back to Rome. Right. When people started printing off more currency, the currency became not worthless. You would truck in a load of currency to buy anything. Right. This happened it's happened throughout history. Right. And is this new method? Because where did all this wealth come from? Right. It is designed and built out of thin air. Even Bitcoin, which is only a certain amount of money, has a limit of how much Bitcoin there is. Right. But the value of Bitcoin is still relative to the US dollar. So
right, which at one point in time was backed by gold. I mean, we had gold. We said gold is, if you have the gold, then the currency is worth, but and even the US dollar's gone away from that.
Correct. And a lot of this comes down to the question of, a lot of people say, should we be on a standard of some sort? Right. Because right now it is kind of printing money and making it happen, but is cryptocurrency not printing money as well? There's arguments on both sides, and I've listened to both of them, and I'll be honest, I don't know where I fall in this case, because I like to see people make money, and if they could use that to make real estate easier. So we talked about this a while ago, that non-fungible tokens may make real estate easier, because title work right now takes a couple days. Title policy takes a few more days. But what if I could just say, hey, Kent, I'm going to sell you my house. All we have to do is pay off the mortgage, and everything's on this hard drive or on this digital file, and that's all you need, and then you own my house.
Wow. Yeah.
That is very functionally going to possibly be the new way of transference. Right. It started with digital pictures, right? And now it's advancing into actual products, and then it will eventually, I think, move into real estate, because real estate in its true reality is transferred through a piece of paper, and a piece of paper can be digitized in its simplest format, and now it becomes a digital product in that same token. Yeah, granted, it has a backed up physical product of a home. Yeah. Right. But would it not be easier in our world to not have to go through the hoops of the headaches that are in real estate? What if we only had to do that one more time for every house? And then from there, indefinitely, we don't have to do that anymore. I see value. Right. I see terror in the title companies that they don't see it yet. I'm constantly hearing that they're not paying attention yet, and I think that they probably should, because you're right. Tom Brady talking about it means that everybody's talking about it.
Right.
And if they're going to start paying people, it's going to be something more relevant.
Yeah. See, that was my thing, is that, and of course, advertisement's advertisement. You and I both know that. People are out there doing things, and some work, some doesn't. That's what it goes. But when you start pulling in celebrities of that magnitude, and you they're putting their name on it, maybe we need to pay a little bit of attention, and from an industry that, in my opinion, is, the greatest industry in the world to create wealth, which is real estate, so if this is going to be a piece of it, how do you and I, as an individual consumer out there just trying to get into the rental business or purchasing a home for our family, does this really play in, and does it really make sense? Is it something I should be paying attention to?
As an entrepreneur, I would say absolutely. Right. As a consumer, I would say that it might be over your head and you may not want to play in the game, and don't play in the game. Hire professionals. Listen, I'm not a professional insurance agent. I'm going to hire a professional insurance agent when I'm buying health insurance, when I'm buying life insurance, when I'm buying home insurance, and when I'm buying car insurance, because I don't know anything about that.
Right.
This is where professionals will always have a place in every environment. Even if a lot of people relate our industry to the travel industry. And I will tell you that there's a difference in travel. Travel can be digitized in its entirety. Whereas in our industry, there's still a human element to the fact of understanding. Because travel is very simple. I pay $1 for trip. That's it. Right? But I still use a travel agent, because a travel agent can get me $1 for trip, but then they can also find me these 5 things that I want to get done too, right? But in real estate, there's not those 5 other things to get done. It's understanding the process that is the problem. Does digital tokens take our way? No, but I do think that it does reduce our commission. I frankly do. And we're going to have a discussion about that with a colleague, because we're going to have that discussion of where does that end up. So yes, I do think that it's going to reduce our commission, but I do think that the average consumer doesn't need to know about crypto today, and should be very cautious with it. But I do think entrepreneurs, I'll be honest, I think in my mind, 20 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 2 years down the line, my thought is somebody's going to need to store those things, because you probably read this article like I did. A guy has $160 million in Bitcoin. And that was when I last read the story. Today, it might be $300 million in Bitcoin. And it's sitting in the Chicago dump because he threw away his hard drive.
I mean, how crazy is that?
I don't want to throw away my house because I throw it in. Listen, sometimes I get on a rampage and I just throw crap away. Right. I don't want to throw my house away. Right. And this guy threw away $150 million. So,
how crazy is that?
Maybe starting a company that can be the storage of those things. Maybe that's a great idea, right? Having a redundant storage facility for the hard drive that owns your home. Right. Maybe that's a great resource for a business opportunity. So entrepreneurial spirit, it spurs a lot of ideas for me. This digital real estate, the metaverse, and then there's a couple others that are coming up. These are very interesting to me, because I think that we have the ability to sell real estate wherever real estate is real. Now, when I say real, I guess I have to kind of caveat that. Whenever people are buying real estate, let's figure out how to make money on selling real estate.
Right. That's it's very interesting to me. I would say that consumers as a whole are, it's so confusing right now. I mean, everything that's going on in this market's confusing. Everybody believes you can get, $50,000 over, what your value of your property is. I mean, so how does, as a real estate agent and somebody that I'm going to help the consumer, where should I go to learn about, these things that make good sense, so that I can give good information to my consumer that doesn't have time to sit down and do this?
Right. This is aligning with the right people, aligning with the right, experts in that field, finding people that are better at things than you are. I always say that if you think you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably the dumbest. And I think that if you find people that you can surround yourself with that are willing to open their mind, because I'll be frank and honest, cryptocurrency terrifies me, and I'm not ready to jump in. I don't own any cryptocurrency. I have not found one that I feel comfortable with making that investment because I understand it. I follow under the philosophy that I think Warren Buffett got it right. I'm not going to invest in something I don't understand.
Right.
And I would suggest that everybody doesn't do that until they understand it. But if they want to align themselves with the people that do understand it, and that they trust, and that have a reputable reputation, anyways, that they know what they're talking about, then that person is a great person to talk to, and that's the person you should talk to. But they have to also show that they're invested. It's kind of like real estate agents that are selling houses that don't own a real estate of their own, right? I understand if you're 6 months in the business, but if you're past that, probably not.
I've always had that concept when I go to, and my investment guy comes in and says, Kent, you should invest in this. I say, well, I'll invest exactly the same amount that you did.
Exactly.
And so I want us to, as a community, to understand that, this crypto is something that's going to pop up. It's something that we're going to have a conversation about. We're going to have to go out and create some knowledge on our own about, so that when it comes to play, we're not sitting on the backside and not understanding, where to go with it. And as real estate agents and as people getting involved in real estate, I think it's a conversation that over the next 3 to 5 years is going to be a big conversation. I really do. I don't know that anybody's going to be able to be incredibly accurate with that conversation at the moment, but I think we got to go on and learn about it and make sure that we're staying on top of it. And it's not something that, so many things slip behind us because we're so busy doing whatever else we're doing. And we let this get us away from us, and so, that's one thing I say, that's one of my favorite things about Brian is he does not allow that to happen, and I'm hoping that, we can help all the people that watch us and talk about this today getting in the same position where they don't allow that to happen to them. I don't think we have the answers today, but I do think we have the idea that we need to pay attention.
Yeah. Think about it this way. There's two people that sit in my mind at all times.
Mm-hmm.
One is the CEO of Kodak. When they were presented with the opportunity of the digital age and the digital camera, they were presented with it first, and they passed on the idea because they didn't believe it would happen. The second is the CEO of Blockbuster, who publicly on record came through and said, oh yeah, that Netflix thing, that Redbox thing, there'll be nothing in a couple of years. They're not even a blip on my radar. Those two statements will live in infamy because they both were contradicted extremely. And both of those people contradicted the entire process of their business and led both of their businesses from mega names that we all knew to, if you ask a young person today, they probably don't even know what Kodak is, and they probably don't even know what Blockbuster is. So just remember, any moment that you say something's going to go down in flames is the moment that you made a decision that will be held in infamy. If it's on public record. So just be cautious about it. I'm not saying that I know anything about crypto more than what I've read. I'm not invested in crypto yet because I don't understand it. I have to understand it, but I'm willing to take that time to understand it. And that's what everybody that's listening right now needs to do. They just need to take the time to either find somebody that understands it or take the time to actually figure it out.
Yeah. And so what I will do from here is I will say that we'll continue to move forward. We'll continue to look for people that have more and better information, maybe than we do at the moment, to keep you guys in the loop, because I really want you to understand that this is something that may be something that you need to look into, especially from an investor standpoint. Of course, we're not saying do it by any means, but what we are saying is that, it's another one of those opportunities, that we need to pay attention to and not let it just slip by and blow off. Right. I mean, how many times, so I was talking to a guy the other day, of course, most of I've been in, Ellis County for 58 years and, and I've seen every piece of property out there that we could have bought for, for $2 an acre that's now selling for, $50 a square foot, and we didn't buy it. Why didn't we buy it? We had $2, but we didn't buy it, and so that's kind of where I am now. I don't want us to, as a community, get in that position where we don't understand it, but I also don't want us to go do it and then just throw our money in the trash. Right. And so
site is always 2020. Always 2020.
Absolutely.
But what also is pretty amazing is doing your research. Find out what it is,
Right.
So listen, I told you Warren Buffett is one of my heroes, and he is, because what he's done. And he said to a group of graduate students from Harvard University, he said very simply, the student asked, "How do I become you?" Warren Buffett said, every day, pick up 50 books and start reading them. Right. I mean, if you spend your time in knowledge, you will be as successful as Warren Buffett, because that's what he does every day. He reads all day long. He doesn't play on the computer. He doesn't do those kinds of things. The only thing he does on a computer is play bridge. That's it. And everything else is trade articles and information that he is digesting. Right. And he has become one of the wealthiest people, at one point, the wealthiest person in the world, just doing that.
Yeah. So, hey, Brian, I appreciate you taking time to spend with us here today. This is it's one of those things that we're all going to have to just keep paying attention to, and maybe, be patient with, and see where it goes. Whether it'll go anywhere or not, I don't know. I know people that have done well, and they say they've done well, and, it appears they've done well, but they have there's no time involved in it to prove that it's long term, right? And so
longevity.
And I think too that, from a real estate standpoint, we got to be cautious. I mean, a title company doesn't know how to accept. I mean, they can't. I can't go to a title company right now and say, put my my earnest money down on a Visa card. They don't know. They don't know how to do that. And that's scary to me. Is that, you and I both know that we live on plastic now. Nobody carries cash anymore, And so, so is Bitcoin going to be that thing, or this crypto going to be this thing that replaces, how we do that, how we deal with, our credit cards? I don't know, but I think we need to pay attention. So it should be a fun conversation as we move forward. It's another, real quick little conversation for our guys here in Northern Ellis County, where we're like, people don't think we're paying attention, but we are every minute of every day. And so, Brian, I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us and having a conversation. It's always fun to have these conversations with you. And I hope everybody, maybe learned a little something, or at least is cautious enough to know that, research is the key.
Absolutely.
So thanks, my friend. You have a great day.
All right. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.